something that if you put it in a regular temperature, right, in the temperature of the room, it's going to still be solid. Like this chocolate that I was talking about, the lava cake, hot cake, and the chocolate inside is still solid chocolate. Only if I'm going to put it on top of the plata, then it's going to turn out to be liquid. That's permissible on Shabbat to do. What? The what?
Some soup they have jelly, like really jelly.
So yeah, but you have a mixture. You have also water and also a little bit of fat. So the water is a problem. I mean,
So if you have something that is cooked with liquid, let's say meat that has some sauce.
if you have meat with sauce, so the halakha goes like this. There is a machloket a little bit in between the two sons of Chacham Ovadia Yosef, but let's go straight and easy. If the sauce is a little bit of sauce, all right, that the majority of it's solid, and you recognize it on the eye, you see solid. There's a little bit of liquid in the bottom. That thing, it's called solid. Even though there is liquid, the liquid is considered solid, and it's permissible to put it on top of the plata on Shabbat. Obviously, when you already pre-cook it before Shabbat. Obviously, right? Now, if the liquid, you recognize it because it's a good amount of liquid, even though you have still majority of solid, it's better not to put it on top of the plata of Shabbat. Okay, Rabotai, let's go to the point of today. Leilun Nishmat Devorah Fege Bat Shemuel, Orna Devorah Bat Shemuel, Esther Rivka Bat Avraham, Monica Bat Fani, and Menachem Mendel Ben Elchanan. Shoshana Bat Sarah, also Ruach Hashem Tenachem Megan Eden. Norid Bat Yakut Bezat Hashem as well. Rabotai, there was a rabbi, the Bach, Beit Hadash. He lived a little bit after the time of, after the time of the Beit Yosef, of Rabbi Yosef Karo. And he wrote a story that happened in his days, famous story, I believe. The story goes like this. There was, back then, in Europe, there was a Paritz. Paritz was a goy, very, very rich, and he used to have servants. And many, many times, the servants of the Paritz were Jews. Anyway, there was a Jew that he was a servant, and his job was to be in charge of all the wines that this guy had. Okay? After years that he's working there, one day he realized that another Jew, neighbor of him, he was getting in contact with this guy, and he offered him that for the next 10 years, after the lease of the first one will be over, instead of taking him for another 10 years, take me, and I'm going to take less money from you. And he convinced him that it's kedai for him to hire him and not the guy that he had until today. Hazid, the Jew that worked by him, he heard that and he saw that. He entered in panic. Ya Habibi, what's going to happen with me? I'm going to be 10 years, no job. I don't know what to do. And Parnasa. Rabbi, true story, the Bach wrote it down. Unbelievable. Says the Bach, this Yehudi decided to go to another Jew, very rich guy as well, that he was friend with the Goy. He told him, do me a favor, speak with the Goy, convince him, to hire me for the next 10 years. The guy heard everything, and he told him, it's fine, don't worry, I will help you. But right now, I'm traveling to one of the countries for business. I'm coming back in a week and a half. But don't worry. In a week and a half, I will come back, I will speak with the Goy, everything will be fine. They said, no, what are you talking about? In a week and a half? Maybe he's going to sign a contract with the other guy. He says, listen, I know the Goy, and I know that people like that are not signing contracts so fast. Week and a half, you know what? For your tranquility, once I get into the city, I'm not going to even enter to my house. I'm going to go straight to the guy's house. He convinced him, the drink l'chaim, and yallah. He left. Rabotai, the man came back home, and he was fine with the answer of the rich guy. He just came back home. He told his wife. The wife was in fire. What? He's cheating you? He just tried, to escape from you. Do you think he cares about your issues? For sure, in that week and a half, they're going to sign the contract. Tipesh. You let him go. What are you doing? All our parnasa. Rabotai, what can I tell you? A whole week and a half, fights in the house, problems, issues. Fine. After a week and a half, whatever the rich Yehudi told the other guy, he fulfilled it. He came back home. He went straight to the house of the goy. He spoke with the goy, and the goy got convinced, and he told him, "You got it. I'm gonna hire the guy that I had for the extra 10 years." Nice. Rabotai writes the Bach. Years pass, and one day the Bach goes to sleep and he dreams. He dreams about this rich fellow. They helped the other Yehudi. And he told him, "Rabbi, I want to tell you what happened exactly in my judgment in Shamayim." Rabotai, this is written by the Bach. Bach, the Beit Hadash, it's not a book of Musar. It's a book of Halacha. You go upstairs to the Bet Midrash that we have upstairs. The people are learning Halacha. When we talk about Shabbat, meat and milk, we learn Bet Yosef and we learn Bach. Bach, it's not a book of Chidushim. It's a book of Halacha. And he writes like this. In the dream, this rich man came up to my dream and he told me, "Rabbi, I had permission to come to you because I want you to write this down. In my judge, when I was judge upstairs, he said there were two people before me. Both of them were shohatim." Just in parentheses, there are two types of jobs that you have to have a lot of responsibility in your shoulders. One of them is education. The second one is kashrut. What can I tell you? It's in your house. But when you're shohet, when you are, you have a supervision of kashrut, and you made a mistake, it's a responsibility about the whole community. You remember what happened in Muncie back then, right? With the shohet, it was terrible. The whole entire city, they ate tarif. Big responsibility. He says that before his judgment, there were two men before him, two shohatim. Both of them, they made an issue in the kashrut and they feed all the Jews tarif. First one, he feed the Jews tarif and he didn't do any teshuvah about it. He says the judgment was very tough. He explains over there how it was. I'm not going to enter how it was. It was very tough. The turn of the second one also, but the second one, before he passed away, he went to the Bach himself to get a kapara, and the Bach wrote him which type of actions he had to take for kapara, and was accepted. He says, my turn came and I was shaking. There is no word to escape. His turn came, and all of a sudden, all the mitzvot that he did in his life arrived. Averot as well. And the balance was getting filled more for mitzvot. He says, Baruch Hashem, the judge was finished, and they gave me a good decree going to Gan Eden. He says, I'm going to Gan Eden, and I'm already smelling the smell of Gan Eden. I cannot even express how special it was. And then all of a sudden there is an angel that stops me, and he says, 1 second. You cannot enter yet. He says, what are you talking about? Why not? Who are you? He says, I am the angel that was created throughout the good action that he did of helping this fellow Jew with the goy. You remember? Okay, I'm the angel that was created for that. He says, oh, beautiful. So what's the issue? That's what the Bach is writing down.
Where is he getting it from?
He dreamed it from this man that passed away. Okay? Anyway, he told him, the angel stops him. And he tells him, the action was amazing. But I have an issue with you. You cannot enter right now to Gan Eden. Why not? He So they're going to tell you. Because you helped the Jew? Yes. But why you waited a week and a half to help him? Do you know what happened that week and a half? Do you know which issues you caused inside his house? Agmat nefesh, fights, uncomfortability, stress. Therefore, you're going to go to Gan Eden, you have your place in Gan Eden, it's going to be amazing. But right now, you will have to wait a week and a half outside Gan Eden. Waiting. Waiting the fence. Just to see how everybody, smells. And it's like a hungry guy, or somebody that is very thirsty, or a hungry guy. And then you tell him, okay, no problem, you're going to eat. You're going to eat. Just, wait 1 week. He says there was such a suffering. And why? Because it caused somebody else also to suffer like that. Why I'm saying this story? Because we have to understand that one of the biggest issues that we're having in our generation is, of course, we help people. But we really help them like it was me. We really help them like, it's the most important thing that I have to do right now, or is secondary. Chachamim are teaching us that one of the main things that because of that we're still in exile is the concept of not keeping our mouth 100% clean. And Rabotai, you go all around, all over. If it is Shabbat table, if it is a regular gathering, if it is for a game, whatever. What's the subject that people are talking? You know what's the subject? Speaking about somebody else. And this guy said like this, and the other one said like that. And the Chafetz Chaim already spoke very, very strict about that. That there are 3 levels of Lashon Hara. There is Motzi Shem Ra. Motzi Shem Ra is when a person speaks something that is not true. Now, Rabotai, we're not liars. We don't lie. But sometimes we exaggerate. How a guy told me, he said, Rabbi, it's so funny, because sometimes when somebody is telling you a bad thing about somebody else, a conversation that these 2 guys had, he says, so I told him so and so and so, and he told me, you know what happened with that? Why you change the voice? You exaggerate it. You make it worse. This is called also Motzi Shem Ra. You lied. That's one level. Second level is not Motzi Shem Ra, it's Lashon Hara. What's Lashon Hara? Lashon Hara is for real. What happened exactly? So why it's called Lashon Hara? I'm saying the truth. The answer is because Lashon Hara is to speak something that it's negative. That really the other guy will not like to hear that. It's called Lashon Hara. And the third level, it says the Chafetz Chaim, that's the worst one. It's called Rechilut. Rechilut. What's Rechilut? Rechilut are those type of people that they hear one thing and they run to the other one. And they pass it over. Pellbearers. Ay, ay, ay. That's the worst. Say Chachamim, ba'avon Rechilut. From this terrible scene of Lashon Hara and Rechilut, the Zohar HaKadosh writes, the prayers of the person are not passing the gates of heaven. Sometimes we can pray and we ask ourselves, why God doesn't answer me? Maybe I'm not a prophet, but one thing I know, what the Gemara writes down, that this Lashon Hara that we spoke blocks the prayers of the person. How careful we have to be. And at the same time, from the other hand, Shomer pivu leshono, Shomer mitzarot nafsho. Whoever keeps his mouth clean, he's helping himself. Let me tell you a fantastic story that I got yesterday about last week. There was a Jew that passed away last week. I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago. He passed away at the age of 96. In Israel. I had the name, I just didn't write it down. Avraham something. Anyway, this fellow, Avraham, was a survivor from the Holocaust. And he said over how he got saved from the Holocaust. I'm not sure if I told you the story in the past. He said that he was in one of the concentration camps, and in Imach Shemam V'Rish'am, the Nazis, besides being very cruel, the generals, more cruel you were, more kavod they had. The main general in that concentration camp, he had a hobby. What was his hobby? Every morning, before his breakfast, he had to take down another Jew.
What?
Take down, kill another Jew. One Jew every day.
Oh, that's his breakfast.
That's his breakfast. Yimach Shemo. Anyway, so this guy, he was doing his routine every single day, and he was coming with the least. He was picking a name. Halas. This is the one day he comes and he picks a name. Let's say last name Goldberg. Mr. Goldberg. Says this Avraham. His name is not Goldberg. His last name is not Goldberg. He said they were waiting for Goldberg to go out. Mr. Goldberg doesn't answer. So the Nazi says again, Mr. Goldberg, please come here right now. And then Mr. Goldberg turned to Abraham and tells him, no, Mr. Goldberg, go, they're calling you. Abraham looks at him with the big eyes. What are you talking about? It's you. And he repeats, louder. Goldberg, come on, move. You don't hear that the general is calling you? Go ahead. He said that he had two options. One option was not to let him, fight for your life. Yeah? And then what? One of the two. Are they going to kill both? Are they really going to kill the Goldberg? The other one was, the second option that he had in his mind, I'm keeping my mouth. Shomer pivu shono. I'm keeping my mouth. But Olam wants me, I'll go. I'm not going to say Lashon Hara, and I'm not going to put somebody else in the hands of this Rasha. That was his decision. Believe me, it's another decision. No one from us should be in such a challenge. Anyway, he goes. And the Nazi, Yimach Shemo, holds the hands of this Abraham. And he looks at all the Jews that were inside in the camp. And he tells them, guys, today, every day I killed one Jew. Today I decide to make a changement. I'm going to keep one Jew alive and all the rest are going to kill them. And unfortunately, all of his friends of this man Abraham got killed. And Abraham was saved. This Abraham passed away, like I told you last week, at the age of 96. After he passed away, one of the family members, he said, you know why my father or my grandfather passed away at that age, 96? Shomer piv ulshono. Piv gematariya 96. Shomer piv ulshono, shomer mitzarot nafsho. Whoever keeps his mouth. It's very hard. But we have a promise that whoever keeps his mouth clean and he goes straight with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he will have always shomer mitzarot nafsho. He will keep his own life. And that's what the Gemara writes down in Masechet Berachot. We're learning it in the Daf Yomi. A person who wants to have his words to be heard by everybody, you want to talk and you want others to hear you, there is only one way. What is it? Person who have irat shamayim, person who have fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he keeps his mitzvot, whatever you will say, people are going to hear you. Not only on Torah, also in your business, also in your issues in the house. If you have irat shamayim, the words are going to be heard. So Be'ezrat Hashem, let's reinforce ourselves to feel the needs of my fellow Jew, to say things that are correctly and not to speak Lashon Hara. And throughout that, for sure we're going to have all of us berachah and tzlacha in all what we will do.